Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back. It is Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I am Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it each and every single week that you tune in. We couldn't be more happy that we're here together right now.
No doubt about it.
Yes, if you haven't yet, whatever you're listening or watching us on, please like and subscribe to it and rate us 5 stars. It helps us so much. We can't even explain it in words. But on that note, Chad Lee, how was your weekend, sir? Oh, whoa.
It was pretty damn good. I think it was a long week last week.
Yeah.
So I think we should just get this episode started right off and mention this is episode 40.
It is episode 40. Yeah, we've made it to 40. It's crazy. I can't believe that we're here.
It's nuts, man.
It's wild.
Perseverance, consistency, determination.
And I think we're finally at a point now where we're relaxed. We're back into it. Just the flow of being in the show.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we're in the groove.
How do you want to get this thing started off? You
With
want a
the leadoff
shot, right? Oh, you're doing a drink, you sneaky son of a bitch.
Yeah, I poured it in some ice. You know I'm a bitch about the hot whiskey.
Dude.
Cheers to you. And to
Cheers.
episode
40. Cheers to each and every one of you that has tuned in through all 40 episodes. We know every single one of you that either started late, has gone back and listened to all the episodes, or you've just been here from the beginning. But let's get this one going.
Let's do it.
Cheers to you. Cheers to Fringe Fanatics. Cheers to you guys.
Love it. Last of the 4 roses. But
4 roses, more like 3.
Now that we're kicked off, my week was pretty good. Last Friday, figured I'd just go ahead and get this out of the way. Bought some smelling salts.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
As you know, I work in a warehouse. I run a forklift, work long hours, and out in the heat a lot. So I figured,
smelling salts.
Yeah, smelling
makes
salts.
Sense.
That's the easiest, most legal way to
what
try
can
to stay
I
awake.
snort to get going
There's
at work?
no snorting involved.
What can I huff?
Huff is the right
Yeah.
way
What
to
can
put
I
it.
sniff ever so slightly?
As we were talking before the podcast, we listen to these other podcasts where these guys will do it, kind of just fucking around and shit.
Yeah.
But we also know, like, we learn from them and just our, basic knowledge that it's been used in, like, powerlifting, hockey. I didn't realize, like, when I was buying this, that it's like there's brands that are centered for hockey that are, like, made special salts for hockey. I was like, why? What makes it specific for that? But I guess it's so big in hockey. It makes sense, dude. I mean, those guys are fucking running.
I've seen them on the bench in the penalty box, grabbing the smelling salts, huffing them.
I don't fucking blame him, dude.
No.
I bought it Friday. So I had a customer who told me about it, and I was like, all right. He said he had one in the truck. I took a little whiff, and I fucking crushed it right after that, man. Gives you that little bump, just to fucking go. Maybe that's the wrong word to use for it.
No, use bump,
But, yeah, it just gave you that little extra. It's like getting that mushroom in Super Mario Brothers to where, after that, you don't feel as
you're
tired.
Just invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I like getting that adrenaline going. So, yeah, used it a few times. And
am I going to have to try it then?
Yeah, that's why I brought it.
Okay.
I want to see you give it a shot. I'm surprised it never came up at your job.
None of us has ever done it. No.
Really?
Yeah, I've only ever heard of it on the podcast. So
I've
heard of it prior to that in other stuff. Like I said, I've seen it in hockey and stuff. But I've never out in the workplace just like, hey, dude, are you tired? Just fucking let's huff some ammonium.
Some ammonia, pretty much. Just basically dried ammonia.
Something or other.
Yeah.
I don't even know. But yeah. Ammonium chloride, which doesn't sound like something you should be smelling.
No, it definitely doesn't sound like it, but there's no evidence out there that it's super harmful to you as long as you're not getting it touching your nose.
Yeah, so I shouldn't rim my nose.
That would probably
not like
irritate
mentholatum.
Yeah, it would melt that ring out that you got there, man.
It's gonna be gone.
Yeah, but I'll kick
it
off.
So what do we do here? Are you gonna go first?
I'll just go first, man.
Right.
It's gonna give us a little, oomph to get through the rest of this podcast.
Okay.
I know we've worked hard today, so
yeah. It's hot today.
Crack it a little bit.
You don't open it fully?
You don't even need to do that.
Really?
Once it kind of pops off,
you just kind of
just get about 4 inches away. Take a little.
Woo! All right.
I'm ready to power clean.
Let me see this now. I'm gonna go wild. I'm taking the whole thing off.
No, yeah, you could just do that, but just get your nose about 4 inches and.
Oh my fucking god, dude! What the fuck?
Told you, man.
Whoa! Oh, dude.
Don't you just feel like you can Hulk out?
Oh, dude, I feel wild.
So my buddy Drew at work, he was telling me that like
I felt that in my brain.
Yeah, it just goes through because what it does, it's like opening up your blood vessels, getting a surge of adrenaline.
Whoa!
Yeah. And
oh my god, dude!
He says like whenever his allergies are acting up, or he's having
if you got
some
sinus
problems, clears it right up.
Yeah, I made my nose run a little bit, but if I blew right now, I'm sure I would be
cleared out.
Cleared right out. Whoa.
Nice, well done, man. Let's fucking go.
My hands got
40.
clammy. Woo!
Oh yeah. See now when we have knee circles on, they're gonna have to try this.
Yeah. Wow.
There we go.
I do feel wild. Like, not like crazy, but I feel like...
Yeah, I'll take one more. You took a pretty big one, so I'll just go ahead and...
My eyes are crying. It's wild. We watched Theo Von do it, and he gets crazy with it, but...
Oh, man, he just right into it.
He's right, though. It sneaks up on you. Like, you get closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden it's like... Like rocket fuel, right?
The best way I've heard about it is like you just hit like a gust of wind, but it's more like a wave. Like...
yeah, like a
ammonia wave, pretty much.
Ammonia wave.
All right, now that we're fucking
Whew.
surging on like the rainbow road of Mario Kart.
Indeed, let's get into the headlines, man. Where do you want to take us first? I've kind of let you take control of headlines.
Hold on, before we get quite into that, I did want to say this was just only part of my weekend.
Oh shit, we haven't even gotten to the weekend yet. The ammonia's got me so revved up and ready to go. I'm just like, let's get into it, dude.
I love it.
All right, let's finish our weekends. How was yours?
Just want to tell you, I went and we had a little date night and went and watched Boogeyman, the new Stephen King movie.
I've heard terrible things and I've heard good things.
Yeah, it helped that I got pretty high beforehand. Hit her pin, I think, like 26 times. We went and had
all of it.
Dinner and a
there
movie.
Wasn't any left.
I had 2 Moscow mules and then a shot of tequila, which, as you know, is very uncharacteristic of me. But I'm going to see my parents next weekend. My mom loves tequila, so I figured,
you just might as well start getting ready for it.
I got to warm it up.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do the whole shot. I just fucking
sipped it?
I think I took 3 to get the whole
sips.
shot down. But, I mean, at State House, they pour them pretty heavy for me.
I
hate tequila, dude. Tequila is so bad.
I mean,
I hate it.
It doesn't taste as bad as whiskey sometimes to me.
No, I told her because they had they only had like the brown tequila. I mean, they had the white, but the white was going to be really
they didn't
clear.
have the Blanco.
Yeah. I mean, I just didn't want to pay
Blanco,
the money for all that, so I just did the brown, like probably Jose. God, I don't even like thinking about it. I'd rather huff this, but
yeah.
So
it's pretty wild.
Anyway, that movie was fucking really nuts, man. So what I'm saying is like I got a good buzz, and it helps me get really scared. I turned like to a 10-year-old kid, and I was like, I was like grabbing her. I'm like, hold me. But
was the movie good?
Yeah, I'd say like I thought it was fun, but if you're just going into a sober, it's just going to be kind of lame because there's a monster in it. Obviously, it's the Boogeyman.
Yeah, the Boogeyman.
But like her critique was pretty good. Like if it had been some type of man, like a boogeyman, but it was like some type of mythical man, then it would have been better. But it was more of like a creature, which was kind of crazy. But it was made by the same dudes that did Stranger Things. So it had a lot of that feel to it.
I saw something about, I guess Stephen King's known for like selling the rights to his movies for like $1.
Oh, wow.
And just letting like these people who,
that makes
normally
sense.
Don't get a chance to make a movie like that take a swing at it. So
yeah, because
pretty cool.
It's infamous that he really hated the way Stanley Kubrick did The Shining.
Yeah, he's still mad about it.
Oh yeah, he's not.
I guess like the color of the bug in the beginning was like a really big fuck you to him because he wanted it to be the color that it was.
Dude, if anybody hasn't, or if you haven't watched that documentary, I think it was Room 208 or whatever it is, the famous room from it. They made a documentary all about Stanley Kubrick's interpretation of it. If it's more about like the moon landing and all of this, like he put all these clues into it. Like
that's
see,
crazy. I need to watch that.
Dude, the fucking kid in it, Danny or something. Yeah. He has that NASA shirt right in the opening scene. There's a lot of like little hidden stuff there, but it's tinfoil hat.
Yeah, which I still need to make that thing.
I was telling her, I think what I want to do is a cowboy hat, and then we wrap that in tinfoil.
Oh, okay.
Rather than just doing like a baseball hat.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna make it a tinfoil and fit it to
just
our heads.
Like fucking
like
signs.
It fits to my head. Yeah, exactly. Like it's just like all goofy.
We need to get
like
2 of them, man.
Like a dunce cap.
That's our project. That's our next project. We're gonna get that going. But other than that, man, I just watch a lot of baseball. I've really been getting into baseball more.
That's cool.
It's been nice. I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's definitely a sign of getting old. I don't know.
Yeah, soon you'll be listening on the radio like me.
Oh, yeah. That's the next step. You are a little bit older than me.
Yeah, just a little bit.
How was your weekend, though?
It was pretty good. I didn't do too much, man. I had plans to get more done on the show, but our work week was wild, so didn't really get as much done as I would have liked.
Yeah.
But, we're here, and I got shit prepped for the show, so that's half the battle. As long as the show can go on, that's all that really matters. But, yeah, I pretty much just fucking hung out.
Zane tattooed you again, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, I did go get tattooed by Zane.
Did he just cover up more, black out more?
Yeah, we went over the whole thing again, and
Jesus.
It sucked balls. It was like 3 hours, and we barely took a break for probably like 10 minutes of break.
That's
but
it.
He does have this cool shit now. It's called like Blastocaine, which is like a topical numbing agent.
Oh,
and
wow.
Back in the day, I would have said that was like bitch made, but after he got halfway through, he sprayed that shit on, and he went over the whole side he did again, and I didn't even hardly feel it. And I was like, this shit's legit.
Does it come with like lidocaine in it?
I think so. That's probably where the Blastocaine
When he did my
from.
arm, we were going for just over a couple hours, I think, maybe bordering on 3, and he could tell I was starting to have a hard time, and so he put something on there that he said had lidocaine on it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that. I think it was more of a
it was something else
version.
back then. I can't remember what that stuff was called, but he was using something back then. That was back when I was managing the shop, and I can't remember what it was, but it's something similar. But yeah, this stuff was wild. I was like, I could feel the pressure of the needles and like him pushing on me, but like, I didn't feel any pain.
Nice. Cool. That's fucking cool, man. Can't wait to see when it's all done.
Yeah, right now it's just a big black blob on my back. So
a blank canvas.
Yeah, to start over again.
Well, it'll be. I'm looking forward to seeing it when you put my face on there.
Yeah, I know. I gotta put you next to Andrew.
That's what I was gonna say. It'd just be a Mount Rushmore of your friends.
Tramp stamp.
I love it. That's cool, man. So now that we have done the leadoff shot,
I think we're at the point of the show that we can actually get it going.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Let's get into it, man.
Let's
the fucking headlines.
Whew. Yeah.
What do you want to start with?
Oh, I was gonna let you take it. Where
You're
do you
still
want to go?
Feeling it, dude,
a little
right?
bit, yeah.
You're like nose, like I could hear it. It's active.
Dude, listen
man.
to this breathing right here.
Clear. Telling you, the next time I'm stuffed up, this is what I'm using.
That's good. That's good breathing right there.
Damn right.
Yeah, let's get into the headlines. Where do you want to go first?
Let's start
give me
the
a
NBA.
Sport.
NBA. There's not a whole lot.
NBA.
Right, the
let's
association.
do it. You take us there first.
We're gonna start with the big news of Chris Paul, longtime veteran, getting traded to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, how do you feel about the trade as a whole? Because I don't know what they're doing.
I feel about it the same way that Reddick does and a few other analysts, that it's comical in my eyes. It's mainly to keep Draymond Green and get Jordan Poole out of there. But to take on CP3, a guy... Okay, actually, I take that back. I do forget about... There was one analyst that made a good justification of it. Maybe it was Wilbon that said, he's for the second unit. If he finally realizes that he's not a starter and he plays along with those guys like Kuminga...
Yeah.
There's a chance that because that's where they hurt this year. When it came to starters offensive efficiency, I believe they were number 1 this year. But when it came to their bench, I think they were like dead to last.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I don't really see what the point is. He's never available when it matters most.
Yep.
He's old. He's what, 38 or 39?
Maybe,
he's 38. Maybe.
I think he's.
But yeah, he's getting old. You get rid of a guy who, in theory, could have been a building block for the rebuild. Whenever that eventually comes in the next couple years. I mean, let's not shit ourselves. Those guys are getting old.
Yeah.
Draymond's already, opting out of his option. So
I imagine
I know they're going to try and bring him back. Yeah,
they're going to do that.
That seems to be the most logistics thing, especially with this move that just happened. I mean, it makes sense to try and bring him back now.
And I mean, his connection with Curry when it comes to passing, it's not Nikola Jokic-like, but I mean, it's the big reason why they won 4 titles. I mean, his passing is just up there with his defensive play, I believe.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of CP3. I'm not that impressed by his game as of late. I know he's had a lot of great years in his past, but it's just you look at those games in the playoffs where they had 2 non-shooters on the floor with Green and Looney. You get a guy on there like CP3 that can maybe get you 18 points a game if he's shooting a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's got a great fade into the post, dribble out, and then shoot right on the baseline, from 11 feet away. But, I mean, other than that, he doesn't bring a whole lot of offensively.
Yeah, exactly. And then another thing that they're going to lose, especially talking about the bench, is Dante DiVincenzo, which that one's a tough one to say.
It is.
He opts out of his $4.7 million option, and it looks like he's going to become an unrestricted free agent. We'll see where he goes. I mean, I wouldn't mind if Bruce Brown ends up leaving to bring a guy like him in on a cheaper contract to kind of get that point guard shooter involved. But we'll see what happens. There's definitely changes afoot in Golden State, as we can see. So
might be the start of a new era. We'll
definitely,
see.
Definitely. What else do you have in the NBA? Because I got one more thing.
I've got one more thing as well. I guess like two. It is two. One of them I don't think we need to talk about too much. Let's just get this out of the way because this is the subject of it. Because we're both tired of hearing it. All of the Dame talk.
Yeah, where's he gonna go?
Yeah, the Dame time has run out. I am already bored of where he's going to go. Every day, it's what cryptic tweet did he make? What else have we heard? I mean, it's like these guys are starving for news to talk about on these networks, and so they're going to bring it up every day. But
there's so much speculation. You never know.
And so, you know what? I figured,
is he happy? Is he sad?
I'll make my own speculation. What we've heard, of course, we'll give the baseline of it. He has said that he wants to stay in Portland, but he's also said, I don't want to be part of a rebuild. But they just drafted Scoot Henderson.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my crazy pitch, and this goes out to the Mavs who fuck up things all the time.
Yeah.
How about you get Luka some real help, and have him not play the point guard position as often?
Yeah.
Trade away Kyrie for Pascal Siakam. You finally get your big man.
Okay.
They need one horribly. And then you trade away draft picks, whatever you got to do to lure Dame to come to Dallas.
Yeah, okay. I thought Dame was going to be a part of that deal.
Nope. It's okay. Let's get rid of Kyrie. Shed ourselves of that mistake.
That might happen anyways.
I hope it does.
Kyrie might be out of there, one and done.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve anything.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, but that's kind of just what I want to throw at it. If everybody's going to make all these hunches, because all we've heard is Miami, and that's just it. It's like it's going to come down to two things: is he happy just staying in Portland, where he's probably not going to win a championship, or does he go to Miami, where they would be the East favorites, no doubt, if he went there?
For sure, you would think so.
Yeah,
It's really tough to say because, like you said, we don't know what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah.
And I don't think he knows, and I don't think the team knows because they don't know what he knows.
Yeah. Everybody is up in the know.
Yeah, nobody knows, and they need to get in the know.
What else you got, man?
What do I have? Let me see here. Oh, the Atlanta Hawks seem to be in a little bit of a fire sale. They trade forward John Collins to the Jazz for Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick. Collins recently just signed, $125 million contract in 2021. So the Jazz are going to be absorbing that. I think he's got 2 seasons left. So $25.3 million trade exception is created, which is the largest in the NBA, and that's something Atlanta has a year to potentially use. The deal also gives Atlanta flexibility to keep some of the guys that they've been wanting to keep, and possibly contract extensions for DeJounte Murray and Onyeka Ngakwu and Sadiq Bey. So it's opening up a lot of things for Atlanta. We'll see what happens and what they end up actually doing. But, John Collins is no longer with the Hawks. He's now a Jazz member where they play where they don't really like jazz music.
Yeah. They kept the name from Louisiana.
So, that's all I really have for the NBA, to tell you the truth.
The last little bit of news I just want to bring up is just kind of a little tidbit thing about the international thing, and we touched on it last week, but it really says something when, out of last week's NBA draft, 4 out of the top 5 draft picks didn't play for U.S. colleges.
Yep.
Yeah. I know not all those guys were international players, but some of them played in the G League for a while.
Yeah, I feel like this is the beginning of those guys coming in now, where you see these guys who've skipped college, skipped the European leagues, and now have just gone into the G League, Ignite, and then there's the other team.
I can't quite remember the name of it right now.
Shit. Either way, so Scoot Henderson was one of those guys. And
I think those Thompson twins,
the Thompson twins, I think were.
I feel like they did play in the G League. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't kept up with.
They
the G
were
League
the first
at all.
brothers to be drafted within the top 5 as well.
Yeah,
so
there's been brothers drafted, obviously with the balls, but never back to back like that in the top 5. So pretty wild.
I know. So Wow, it just sounded like it got so quiet. I was like, "Oh, did something just cut out?" I got scared.
We're still here. We are here. We're there.
I'm just like nervous from the old days.
We still have a little bit of
crazy.
PTSD. We're a little gun shy. Did something just break?
No.
Let's move into the NFL real quick because there's not a lot.
Yeah, I didn't write anything down for the NFL.
Oh, really? Well, then I got a few things.
Okay.
We'll let me roll for a little bit. Bummer news, former Arkansas and NFL quarterback Ryan Mallett did pass away. He was 30, what was it, 35?
35, my age, dude.
Yeah, he was in a drowning, well, he apparently drowned off of the Florida Panhandle. I guess there's been 11 people who have drowned out there. The rip tide is so crazy. It's dragging people out. So, unfortunately, he did lose his life. That is a super bummer.
Wow, that's really sad.
Yeah, not the best news. Definitely sucks. There was another crazy thing that happened too. Leonard Fournette, his SUV caught on fire.
That was fucking. I think it was his car, or
his SUV
looked like a car from the crash, but it probably was an SUV.
It wasn't even a crash. He was driving and it just caught on fire.
Yeah, and so he had to pull
escaped
over
without injury. So
yeah, it was a miraculous kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
a freak accident.
Super crazy. How shitty would that be? You're just driving and all of a sudden just smoke starts billowing out through your vents and you're like, I guess I'm on fire now.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
That's what we were talking about today. Like, I would be freaking the fuck out because you're driving and then all of a sudden your car
just bursts into flames.
I would
and
just
we're
like,
on fire.
let it go, tuck and roll.
Just open the door and just fall
And then
out the side.
It looks like a fucking torpedo, man, just blowing something up. God damn.
The other thing, which I guess might be something you might care about, but did you see that the Red Zone is going to stay on DirecTV?
No, that's pretty cool.
So they reached a multi-year deal with DirecTV to keep Red Zone on their channel, well, basically on the NFL Network. So, I thought that was crazy because we thought for sure that they were going to pigeonhole it and just keep it all to themselves. But I think they kind of figured out that there's a lot of people who are going to be pissed off if you just take that away from them.
Yeah,
that's
huge. Yeah, that's really big. So that's going to keep Scott Hansen on there then, right?
Yeah, Scott Hansen should be staying there. So it's a multi-year deal. It hasn't come out yet in terms of like what all the terms are, but like we just were saying, we thought YouTube was going to be the only one after the 7-year deal was reached in December for them to have exclusive rights to the NFL Sunday Ticket.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I have, which I mean that's about it for the streaming stuff, but did you see that Devin Allen from the Philadelphia Eagles ran the third fastest 110-meter hurdles at the USATF this week?
I did. He's the defensive back, right?
He's a wide receiver, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's really
pretty
fast.
wild.
Yeah, they got a lot
He's
of speed.
also a white
on that
guy,
team.
which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that until I
That's
Googled
rare.
it, and I was like, damn. You don't see that very often.
Nope. Man, they got a lot of talent there on the Eagles. Shit.
Yeah, they definitely do. And we're going to be getting into hurdles a little bit later in the DDOE.
That is a little tease.
So, yeah,
That's
a little
very
tease
true.
there. So, stick around.
But yeah, not much in the NFL, but hopefully next week we'll have
one
some.
other thing I did see today. Next week, they will be handing out suspensions for gambling in the NFL. So, we will be seeing, they said a handful of players. I have a feeling there's more than a handful, but maybe some guys are going to get away. We'll see. But, we're going to see what happens here when some guys get suspended for a year coming up next week.
Putting the hammer down for that.
Yeah, definitely. Where would you like to move to next, Chadley?
Let's go ahead and cover this F1 news.
Yeah.
Where Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, right? McElhenney, I almost had it. I don't know. I've never really said his last name. That's why I didn't know it. Him and Michael B. Jordan, there's a few other investors, are going to be investing in Team Alpine, $218 million deal into an F1 team.
Yeah, and they're going to basically be getting a 24% equity stake, like you just said, a deal worth approximately $218 million. The investment will accelerate Alpine's growth plans and sporting ambitions in F1, which we've been talking about a lot. Everybody's trying to keep up with Red Bull. Nobody can keep up with Red Bull. It's just impossible at this point. So you need an influx of money in order to do it, and that's what they're hoping to do with this addition of these investors, is get them to a point where maybe they can compete. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's fascinating, too, because, I mean, they had a lot of success with
Wrexham.
Yeah. So it'd be cool to see them just turn around a couple different franchises.
Yeah, and F1's on the up and up. I mean,
It is.
Netflix. It's funny to see Ryan Reynolds, who's like a Netflix, he's a hound for Netflix. All of his movies are on Netflix.
Right.
Welcome to Wrexham was on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Drive to Survive is on Netflix, and now he owns part of an F1 team. So he knows where the money is.
Yeah, he seems
goes
pretty
to
smart with it, man.
Yeah.
I think he's following
and
the footsteps.
Rob McElhenney basically just gets to tag along.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds is putting in probably way more money than Rob McElhenney.
It's gotta be. I mean, he's gotten all Rob got all of his money from It's Always Sunny, but he is like the producer.
He had
creator
another
of
show on Apple TV where they like created a video game, and it was like about the video game company that created this game. I can't remember what it's called.
That sounds pretty cool.
I think it was on Apple TV. But
Nice.
anyways, it's cool to see what they're doing, and it's cool just to see the success happen in real time, which we'll probably get to see that on Drive to Survive, because in the next season that's definitely going to be a focal point of Drive to Survive for sure. So,
Nice.
Max Verstappen, speaking of F1, he's getting a little bit bored. He's winning too much.
Tired of winning.
Yeah, he said if you keep winning, it's going to be hard to stick around because it's not really much of a challenge, more or less, to paraphrase what he said. But
That's that's definitely a call out to all other drivers. It's just like it's too easy.
They're winning by such a huge margin each week. It's just ridiculous.
Over 10 seconds sometimes,
So
that's unheard of.
We'll see if he stays bored at the Australian Grand Prix next week. So if you haven't checked out a Grand Prix race, check out the Australian Grand Prix next weekend. It should be a super fun and entertaining thing to watch. Like we said, they always have an influx of information to watch.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing to watch.
Yeah,
And
it's
usually
really
early in the morning on Sundays. We'll see when the Australian Grand Prix is. I don't know what the time difference is there, but
that would probably be way off.
it could be in the afternoon. Who knows? I'm not really sure.
3 in the morning.
Yeah, it'll be in the morning there, afternoon here. We'll see what's up. But
Yep.
that's going to wrap it up for F1. We did want to touch on some golf real quick. Keegan Bradley did win the Travelers Championship this last
Hats off to
weekend.
him.
I think he won a cool $20 million or something like that,
Wow.
which is super nice.
Yeah.
Won by 2 strokes. So it was interesting. I
Paid for a
didn't
couple
watch that
steak
much
dinners.
of it, but we'll see what happens the next tournament.
Yeah. I'm excited for the end of July.
Yeah.
Is it? I was trying to get that out of Adam last week, but maybe I missed it. Is it the British Open? That's the last major.
I think so, but I don't
pretty
remember
it
for
is.
sure.
The one that John Daly won.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Look at him up there.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Fucking
mullet.
legend. Yeah, we just
Legend.
shared it to our story recently. I didn't realize that you shared it. You sent it to me on Facebook Messenger.
I forgot
before
that I
did.
sent it to you.
Yeah,
and
you're
then you
good.
sent it to me, and I was like, I was going to send
Look
that
at
to you.
that.
I
Yep.
forgot that I sent it.
It was fucking cool that John Daly went to a Kenny Chesney concert where it looked packed, like it was at a football stadium or
Yeah.
something, and he rolls up in a golf cart.
Yeah, parts the seas. And
VIP, man.
Yeah, cruises right up into the best seat in the house,
Yep.
and just hangs out in his golf cart, probably.
You get to do that when you're John Daly.
when you're John fucking Daly.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go next, Chad?
Shall we get into the MLB, the chunk of it?
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I
the
think is
meat
going to
of
be the majority of the headlines this week.
I believe it's the last. Oh no, there's one other headline that was.
Well, yeah, there's one other thing we're going to talk about.
Yep.
NHL stuff.
Right.
But yeah, MLB is
just-
the majority of it this week.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and cut through the meat of it, man.
Let's
There's some
chew
good
on the
news.
fat.
Like I said, I've started to watch baseball more. A lot of it is due to just making little small bets, but it's kind of gotten me back into it. The game's happening faster. There's a little more excitement with these players when they hit home runs by putting on crazy costumes or just embellishing.
Yeah, the home run sellies are getting out
Yeah.
of control.
Like it kind of supports your teammates a little more. Like whenever you're doing something huge, it's not just like, oh, clapping, like high five and whatever.
I
Like
think the Orioles had the dong bong is what they called it.
Wow.
Which I don't know how they got away with that. We were talking about
That
this
is
before
a
we got recording.
wild name.
I forgot that was the name of it. Yeah, it's called the dong bong, and it's basically a beer bong, and they would chug Gatorade through it whenever somebody hit a home run. I don't know if that one's still going on, but that might have been the best one in terms of just creativity.
celebration, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
So let's get into it. The Dodgers, Freddie Freeman got his 2000th hit the other night versus the Astros, man. This really shocked me because this guy was a baller on the Braves. Then he got paid all that money, went to the Dodgers, and surprisingly kept playing just as well as he was for the Braves.
Yeah.
And has already gotten to 2,000 hits. I wanted to bring this up because it seems likely that he may be one of the only current players that it seems plausible that he could get to 3,000.
How old is he? I don't even know.
Let me look it up real quick.
You Googleize it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the deciding factor, how long it took him to get to 2, and then how much time he theoretically has left, because we know these guys can, especially in baseball, play into their 40s.
33 years old.
33, it's possible.
It is very possible.
It just depends. I mean, so he probably got started in the early to mid-20s. Yeah, he might be able to do it.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I mean, it's going to be tough. It's really hard for these guys
to keep
do
raking, and it's getting harder with all these pitches and pitchers and pitches that are coming out now.
Yeah, and these guys just aren't as durable as they used to be, so he may be the lone wolf that could pull it off.
Yeah, we'll see if he can do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Only time will tell, as they say.
Going from a great story, let's go to an even better one.
All
where
right,
the
take us
Rockies
there.
lost 25 to 1 to the Angels on Saturday.
Yeah, the Angels dominated. They had a 13-run third inning and an 8-run fourth inning. So in 2 innings, they basically scored 21 runs.
Unbelievable.
There was literally a sequence that I sent you where it was basically one pitch. Mike Trout hits a home run. They show him rounding the bases. He gets to third. He's coming to home. And then they cut to the replay. They show him hit the ball. They show it going out. They show another angle of it going out. They cut back to the live shot, and as soon as they cut back, the pitcher throws another pitch, and the next guy hits a home run right out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Well, not out, but he hits a home run.
Huge home run.
Yeah, it cranks another home run. Same exact thing. The guy rounds the bases. He gets past third. They show the replay. They show it 3 different ways, and then they cut back to the live shot, and the pitch has already happened, and as soon as they get back, it's like traveling, and he hits another one. This is literally in 2 minutes of live actual time.
3 pitches, 3 home runs, back to back to back.
And I think that third inning, most of the runs were scored with 2 outs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's even more embarrassing.
Yeah, honestly, we both said it after the game. I was like, I can't. You said it could have been worse,
Yeah, because it ended 25 to 1, but it was 23 to 0 in the 4th inning.
Yeah, I don't think they scored that 1 run until the 7th or 8th inning.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, you never see this in baseball. 12 runs is a lot. Just fucking crazy.
I can't remember the last time it happened or how bad it compares. It's got to be up there with one of the worst beatings in baseball history.
I believe in franchise history. I think
it definitely was the most runs allowed in a single inning in franchise history, and I think it's probably got to be up there with the worst loss. But
it's
you never know with the Rockies.
Yeah.
You never know. But on that, we are going to parlay back into the Angels because Shohei Ohtani last night continued his scorching hot June as he has another incredible showing, strikes out 10 batters over 6 1/3 innings, and also went 3 for 3 with 2 homers, giving the Angels a 4-2 win over the White Sox on Tuesday night. It marked the first time Ohtani had homered twice in a game in his career in the majors. He now leads the majors with 28 blasts. You were right earlier, it is 28. He became the 6th player since 1900 to hit 2 homers in a game and strike out at least 10 batters. He is the first American League player to do it since 1963. Jeez. So it's like we were talking about last week, man. This guy's the Jokic of the MLB. It's just
is.
Not since insert the old-timey baseball
they say
player.
Babe Ruth a lot. Yeah, Babe Ruth comes up.
Not since Babe Ruth has this ever happened. And yeah, I mean, Shohei Ohtani's got to be up there. I said he's probably one of the best athletes. You refuted that and argued with me.
I will say that he's the best baseball player right now, no doubt. Yeah.
If people have a hard time saying baseball players are athletes, it's funny.
All right, that's fine. Put him on a football field.
What does that have anything to do with it? It's just
athleticism. I think the athleticism requires a lot more in like a linebacker having to stop
a football player out there with Messi on a huge ass soccer field. It's not going to be the same thing. There's no way to quantify it.
Exactly, because I think soccer players are one of the best athletes. They run
all the time. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I just think with the stuff he's doing, and I would even put him above Jokic in terms of just just the shit that he's doing is extremely
it's so
surprising to
unprecedented,
me.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, he is hitting the ball far outside of the park, and then I mean, he's doing good on the mound. I think that was his 7th win in the season.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
He could
for
potentially
sure,
have a 20-win season.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also maybe
probably
get a triple crown when hitting. Who knows?
Yeah, his RBIs this year are outrageous.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's insane.
It's crazy watching it, man.
So yeah, that's an argument. We can do an ELE on that maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll have to
next
do
week.
that
We were
next
going to do
week.
an ELE this week, but maybe we'll do that next week, and we can just argue for a while.
I'm cool with that. I can argue against you any day.
It's one of our favorite pastimes. What else do you have for the MLB?
I've got a parlay myself. I'm going to parlay talking about De La Cruz, who we've mentioned, and then parlay that into the Braves, and then
Okay.
I'll finish it out with the standings.
Sounds good to me.
So, who we talked about a couple weeks ago, I believe, Ellie De La Cruz for the Reds, the new phenom, young kid for them, hit for the cycle on Friday against the Braves. They had been on an 11-game winning streak.
Yep.
They took on the best team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves, and they won 11-10 in a shootout.
Oh, dang.
And fucking Cruz hit for the cycle, man. First time I think it was done since '89 for the Reds.
34
maybe?
year. I know
Yeah.
the amount of years. I don't know.
I
when
think
the
that's what
last
it was.
Actual year was, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it'd be '89.
not been done by a Reds hitter in 34 years. And yeah, he notched a double, a home run, a single, and triple in his first 4 at bats.
Jesus, he's making it look easy.
Yeah, and this is only his 15th major league game, mind you.
I've watched him get a triple when it looked like it should be a single for most guys. I mean, how fast he gets to third is.
Yeah, I saw him beat out a ground ball to first the other day.
Yeah.
And dove in and was safe. And
It's
I was
like watching
holy
Ricky
shit.
Henderson,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's crazy. This guy is, if you haven't yet, and everybody needs a reason to watch the Reds, tune in and watch Ellie De La Cruz, because he is the next Aaron Judge, that type of guy, a 5-tool player who can do it all.
Stealing bases, like I said, Ricky Henderson. I mean, this guy's flying around the bases.
Yeah, and another crazy thing is the Reds, that was the longest active streak without a cycle.
Oh, wow.
In the majors. So
it's hard to do.
There.
That is such a tough feat in baseball.
Yeah, you got to be hitting damn good. The last Reds player to do it was Eric Davis versus the Padres. You're right. It's June 2nd, 1989. So not too long ago, this month, he did it. So
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, like we were saying, they went up against the Braves, who were probably the hottest team in baseball, and they won their first game. But the Braves won 2 out of 3. Each game was close. The Braves only won by 1 each of those games, and it's just amazing to me. I was going to talk about it more when I get into the standings, but I'll just go ahead and get into it. Well, in that game where the Braves ended that win streak, they homered 8 times, and that's what I wanted to get into. When I was watching them a couple nights ago, they are slugging that ball out of the ballpark nonstop. 53% of their runs that they've scored this year have come, over half of their runs have come from home runs.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
They are the best team in baseball right now, hands down.
Yep.
And then you've got a team like the Mets who spent all of this money talking about possibly blowing it up at the trade deadline, and yet teams like the Rays and the Braves obviously are up there in terms of their pay scale.
They pay. I mean, Ronald Acuna, he's making a lot of money.
But yeah, it's just it's one of those things. It's cool to see some old school teams coming back around. The Braves have been all right for a little while, but now they're finally coming back.
Well, they won the World Series a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
they fell off a little bit. They get Acuna back. They're competing again.
It was crazy. They won that series in the year that he hurt his knee, tore his ACL, I believe.
Yeah, he was done for the season. It was pretty early on in the season, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was right before the All-Star break, but after that, they made a trade for somebody I can't remember, and yeah, they blew up. And Freddie Freeman was on that World
he was
Series
still there.
team. But yeah, I mean, like I've said before, I'm a Braves fan, so it's nice to be able to text my mom and be like, hey, check them out. They're first place right now. They did. So getting into the standings, I'll just get into it. The National League, they are leading the National League and league now at 50-27. They are better than the Rays, even though the Rays have more wins just because of the win percentage. Kind of technicality there.
Technical technicalities.
Yeah, right above. They're leading right above the Arizona Diamondbacks, still hanging in there at 47-32, and then the Miami Marlins at 45-34.
Dang.
Yep. And then American League, like I said, the Rays are still leading the pack at 54-27. Then the Orioles, that's a good series that's going on right now. They're playing each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, two of the best teams
for
in the
possible
American
first
League.
place.
Yep. Well, either way, the Rays will still have a lead on them if they win all 3 games.
On them.
Yeah, they'll definitely climb back. But then
shorten the gap.
The Texas Rangers, 47-30. They're hanging in there even after Jacob deGrom had that season-ending injury. It's kind of surprising. Good for them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to make an honest attempt to get back into baseball this weekend. I'm going to do it.
I'm telling you, man, just make some bets.
I'm going to have to just dive head first into the MLB.
Always become a little more interesting when you got a little money on it.
Yeah, I might actually have to watch a full Rockies game this week. We'll see what happens.
Well, I've been making money betting against them, so
yeah, I might have to start doing that.
It's almost a guarantee. Yeah.
Just start betting against the Royals and the Rockies.
Yeah, you're definitely
going to win.
Dude, I lost on some of that. Speaking of the Rays, I couldn't believe it. The Royals took 2 games out of 3 from the Rays last weekend.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, even after the Rockies lost 25-1, they still won the series. So it's like everybody's like, "Oh my god, they fucking suck." It's like, well, they took 2 of 3.
Yeah,
so
it's so
they had one really horrific, terribly bad game,
right? And I mean, we always got to mention, be careful with gambling. You never know, but it's just. When you win some and you lose some, and that's the way baseball is. I mean, it's so unpredictable. Like I said, I was betting against the Royals all weekend. I know I sound like a horrible fan, but I'm also trying to make money. Yeah. So, and then the Royals proved me wrong by winning 2 out of 3. So, and then you got to make a few other bets, just try to get into it.
I mean, baseball is one of the only sports where you can succeed 1 out of 3 times and be a Hall of Famer.
Like if your batting percentage,
if you hit over 300 for your career, dude, you're pretty much going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Pretty damn well. Yeah. Speaking of which, that's one thing I forgot to mention is Ronald Acuna right now is batting .331, almost going into the All-Star break.
Raking.
Fucking crazy.
Just raking it like a Zen garden.
If it wasn't for they do have an NL MVP and then an AL. There's not just one, right? Yeah. So I think he'd get the NL and then Ohtani would definitely get the AL.
Yeah, he's
right
going
now.
to.
Yep,
for sure. We know where that's headed.
Yeah,
NHL. Let's move into it.
Let's
what do
get
you have?
into
do you
it.
have anything, or do you want me to take it?
I want you to go ahead and take it. I just know that Connor Bedard tonight was
they just had him up on the TV screen, and he looks like a 17-year-old, which
all
he
of these kids, dude. I've never watched the
He won't
NHL
be
draft,
18 until the end of July.
That'd be so crazy to go with your team, go with the Blackhawks after a game, and you can't drink.
Oh, he's gonna drink.
That's probably
he's gonna drink. But yeah, it is crazy. Like all these guys in hockey, like the first round guys, are like 17, 18 years old. Some of them get drafted, they just retain the rights and they go back to college for another year, which is super weird.
It's crazy.
But yeah, Connor Bedard is going to be. They're basically saying he's Sidney Crosby scoring wise, and then Connor McDavid skating wise. He's super fast and can score at will. There's people saying that at like 15, he could have probably played on an NHL power play line. He would have gotten eaten up aside of that, but in terms of just attacking, he probably could have held his own against 30-year-old giants out there. So the NHL is a wild thing, and there has been a lot of movement in the NHL coming up to this draft. One of the things I did want to talk about was, who was it? The Flames trade leading scorer Toffoli to the Devils for Yegor Sharangovich and the 80th pick in this year's draft after news came out that Toffoli would not re-sign his contract after it was up this season. So they end up losing one of their scorers, the best scorer. The Flames seem to be kind of blowing everything up and doing a full rebuild. So they're trying to get everything they can. And then real quick, I think I might do a little bit of a buzzer beater right here.
Hit it.
I'm going to do it. I got a timer right here. I'm going to do it. Oh, my God.
Got the buzzer?
2 minutes on. Okay, here we go. So the Avalanche have been absolutely wheeling and dealing this week. They're making all sorts of trades. They're still making trades. They might still make trades tonight. I don't know where we are at.
Do you know what pick they have?
27 and 31.
Oh, wow.
Where are we at? It doesn't even say. Anyways, here's what's happening. The Avalanche trade for Ryan Johansson from the Predators for forward Alex Galchenyuk. The Preds will pay 50% of his $8 million salary this year and also next. This fills the void of losing Kadri as a second-line center last year. We saw this issue rear its ugly head in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year, where there was nobody who could score outside of the first line. If you could shut down McKinnon and Makar, it was basically over with, and that's what happened with the Kraken. They just dominated us on all fronts. Then the Avs also trade Alex Newhook to the Canadiens for the 31st first-round pick and the 37th second-round pick, and also defenseman Yanni Fairbrother, who has not played. He was drafted third overall 2-3 years ago, but he had a really bad knee injury last year. He has not played since. So it's a little bit of a, let's take this guy and see what we can do with him. But this was all part of the next trade. This is all part of it.
Wow.
They then take that 37th second-round pick, and they trade it to the Tampa Bay Lightning for center Ross Colton, a player who fits more of the mold of what the Avalanche want on their third line. Colton is aggressive, physical, and has shown the ability to create scoring chances for himself, something Newhook and most of the bottom six last year could not do. So what they've basically done, they've effectively got their three centers all squared away, the second and the third line, and now they've got more picks to possibly deal. That is the buzzer. I didn't realize it was going to make a noise.
That's
It went
awesome.
a bling bling, but
Yeah.
there we are. It kind of happened cool. I'm going to have to figure something else out for that buzzer, for the timer.
Oh,
But yeah, the Avalanche are just, they're cruising, and I honestly think we could see them. It looks like they have not picked the 31st pick yet.
Nope. It looks like
there's
they're
a-
on pick 18 right now.
Okay, so there's a possibility they package both of those picks for a player, and I think that's a real possibility because, like we were saying, most of these guys, once you get past like the top 5, top 10, none of these guys are going to actually play.
Yeah.
You just basically get the rights to them, and maybe they play in the AHL. Some of them might go into college or back to college. But yeah, we're going to see what happens. I think the Avalanche have done quite a bit to just add depth that they were missing last year. I don't think anybody saw all of those injuries happening, but
Yeah,
here we are. They're reloading, and they're doing a hell of a good job at it. The new general manager is knocking it out of the park. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of all this and with free agency opening next week, we might see the Avalanche as one of the winners of the draft and free agency without even really drafting.
They're already like in the offseason in Vegas because right now, them and the Nuggets, crazy, Denver, are favored to win next year. The Avs are favored already to win next year, and so are the Nuggets.
Yeah,
It's a good feeling.
It's nice to be in Title Town, you know? We just got to get the Broncos back. We'll see how well that works.
I was trying to be polite. I wasn't going to say anything then.
Let's ride.
You got anything else for NHL?
No, that's it. I just wanted to bitch about, well, not really bitch. I just wanted to go off on the Avalanche.
No, I'm glad you did, man.
That's it for headlines.
Well, I want to hear some horse bitch.
Yeah, Horse Bitch has been the music break guest of the month. They are an up and coming Denver band.
They're a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I think they were in a Westward article actually as one of the up and coming Denver bands. One of the ones to keep your eye on. I definitely have been enjoying the music. I said last week that I was going to remember what that band was that they sound like, and I can't remember it. So it is what it is. But you are about to hear the song about the vampire, or a song about the vampire is what it is.
Yep. And I see here on Instagram that the July 14th, they're going to be playing a Boulder house show. Nice. House party.
Yeah,
I
you
dig
don't get
that.
too many house shows anymore.
Yeah, that's rad. And then July 28th and 29th, they're going to be at the Underground Music Showcase, a big kind of small
UMS
festival.
Yeah, the little festival.
Here in Denver.
So, yeah, definitely keep your eye out for them. A song about the vampires coming at you right now. We will be back in just a second. Stick around to Fringe Fanatics.
Drift to the disco party together. You didn't laugh at a single thing that I said. And your girlfriend had bangs. I never would have thought we'd be here playing music together. But here we are. Here we are. I made friends with the vampire. I made friends with the vampire. I made friends with the vampire. I made friends with the vampire.
You just heard Horse Bitch, a song about the vampire. As Chad said, they are playing in Boulder at a house party soon, and they are also playing at UMS. If you are in Denver and pay any attention to the music scene, UMS is the thing to do come July.
Yep.
So you can go and buy like 3-day passes or 1-day passes and just see a shitload of bands. I think there's over 200 bands playing down South Broadway. So check it out. Go check out Horse Bitch. If you haven't yet, go follow them on Spotify and all things streaming. Also, go check out their website, horsebitch.bandcamp.com.
Damn right.
We are back.
We are.
And it is the shot at the turn.
It is.
We just, it looks like we're crying. Looks like we're a little sniffly.
Nothing's sad.
We did do another hit of the smelling salts.
Bottled Insanity.
Yeah, Bottled Insanity. If you wanna get what we're getting, it's
Bottled Insanity.
Insanity.
Send us free product and we will advertise for you. From Canada. Look at that.
Canada.
Oh, it makes sense. We were talking about how hockey players use it.
Yeah, it makes sense. And you said when you were looking it up, there was nothing but hockey players.
Yeah,
and
just
hockey
like
things.
Smelling salts meant for like hockey players and different football sports. But we are ready to give you guys a little recommendation.
Well, we need to first. We gotta
Let's do
the
this.
shot at the turn, Chad. You're just fucking everything up.
Losing my goddamn brain cells.
It's so weird. I felt like I just didn't record because we were able just to like fly through things now. It's so streamlined that it freaks me out.
We are at another level. You guys, we're leveling up.
Yeah. That was the first time we just ran the music through while we were sitting here.
Chilling. I went and made a drink.
It's kind of nice. Yeah, it actually gave us like a little break. We had a time limit.
It won't be long before your mom's house studios is going to be calling us
We're going to
up.
be up there at the top on the
Do you think we sell our
banner
rights?
page?
Do you like to keep
I will
creative
sell
control?
my soul.
Fair enough. Yeah.
If I can quit doing asphalt, I will sell my soul.
Same here.
All right. Well, it is the shot at the turn. If you are drinking with us, please, by all means, imbibe in some fantastic spirits or beer.
Or libations.
Cheers to you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Cheers to Horse Bitch for being the music break guest this month. We're going to have a new one next month. It's probably going to be this band, the Fricashinas, who we share a practice space with.
That's a fun name.
I'm going to reach out to them. Hopefully they don't say no now that I've put that out there, but I don't think they're going to.
Don't let us down.
Yeah,
Fricashinas.
they won't. The Fricashinas.
That's cool.
So cheers to Horse Bitch. Thank you guys.
Cheers, Mr. Ray.
Oh, it's...
I was really curious about that. That's the first time I ever tried Crown Royal Black. I really wonder what makes it black. Like,
I think it's aged. It kind of tastes like it's aged in
robust. You could totally tell because it's
something.
darker Crown and it says a robust, full-bodied blended Canadian whiskey.
That's super robust.
I really need to give some whiskeys. I don't know if I've told you, but my cousin is actually really kind of high up at a liquor distributor. He was a delivery guy, but this is back in Kansas. But
he can send us stuff.
I know. What that's just it. Is like I think he said that like sending stuff through the mail is frowned upon. I don't know, but he's given me a lot of recommendations.
It's not weed.
No, but sometimes
people
it's
send
illegal
that through the mail all the time.
I don't know.
We
know
don't
the
live in
logistics
Utah. I
of
think
it.
he just doesn't want to send us stuff.
No, he does, man. I know he does. I'm probably gonna see him this weekend. I'm gonna talk him into it. But I'm gonna take Emmanuel up on some recommendations because he really knows his shit when it comes to whiskey.
Well, Emmanuel, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the show. I said subscribe. Right. Like, subscribe, and follow the show. And if you haven't yet, please go follow us on all things social media at fringe_fanatics.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you, guys. If we had something to plug, we would plug it right there as well. But
dude, I got to show you his mullet after this.
You got a bitch of mullet?
He has... I think he's wanted to go to competitions for mullet competitions because he's got like really curly hair and man, it's long now. I thought
about doing that back when I had the mustache.
Yeah,
you remember those days?
Yep, I do. Waxing it. That's what Samir does, man.
Oh yeah, he does, huh? Yep. I forget about that. Yeah, for a while there, I was called Mustache or Christache. Actually, I still go do karaoke with this dude every once in a while. His name's Mike D. Shout out Mike D. He's one of the better karaoke guys around town. Back in the day, we used to follow him around. He'd go to different places.
Oh, that's cool.
And our whole group would follow him. And that's back when I had the mustache, and he started calling me Christache, and then it stuck. Now I show up 5 years later, 7 years later even, it still says Christache. I have no mustache.
Cool.
Well, I have a mustache, but not a cool one.
We needed to do that some night, some karaoke. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because I know you're a legend. Yeah, dude. Tenacious D all the way.
You're not scared?
No.
Okay, good.
There's as long as they have a few Tenacious D
you
songs.
just talked about your trepidation about singing, so I just figured maybe you wouldn't want to get up on stage in front of people.
But there are a few. It would be. What I want to do is one of those karaoke rooms. I don't want to do it in front of a bunch of people.
And see what's weird? I don't like the room.
I know.
The thought of the room freaks me out because I'm like, I don't want to just sing to you guys. Part of the fun is getting up there and
you are
either
a performer.
Just bombing or succeeding on stage.
Well, I'll do that. I'll fuck it, man. Because if there's a Tenacious D song, there's a few songs that I have memorized, but they are some of them.
Yeah, the tribute.
Yep. Wonder Boy.
Yeah, they're all there.
Oh, yeah.
You can maybe sing Peaches from Super Mario.
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, I do like that one. I forgot to talk about, I wanted to say the LSU National Championship.
Oh, shit. We did forget about that.
It was on the next page. I hate that. But let's just gloss over real quick because it's pretty cool.
Headlines, Redux.
Yep.
Redux.
LSU wins College World Series. It's their 7th in school history. And their coach, he just went there 3 years ago, and he already won a national championship. Pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive. I do know one of their players is going to be the #1 overall draft pick.
Dines, Steve Dines, I think his name. Steve. Steve Dines. I want to say his name.
Let's see if that pops up. Steve Dines. I think you made that up.
Nope, I did.
You made up Steve Dines?
No, what is his name?
Yeah. You made that up. This is great podcasting.
Ooh,
LSU baseball player. Number 1.
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens.
Wow.
Dines, though, as close as S-K-I-N-E-S.
Yeah, we had
Skeens,
that. I just
Skeens.
threw a name out there. That's hilarious. Paul Skeens, who's also a transfer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did see some crazy stat where he has got on base in every single game he's played in for LSU.
Holy shit, that is a really good on-base percentage.
Yeah, he's going to be the number 1 overall draft pick.
Well, I wanted to bring it up because it's pretty cool where LSU is becoming.
We're gonna have to get you a pillow to put things down on.
No, that was loud. My bad. Yeah, I was. Yeah,
it's okay.
So anyway, they won the women's basketball championship with that amazing performance, and then their gymnastics program is really huge because of Olivia Doon, and then Joe Burrow brought them into stardom. But a lot of their stars there are getting a lot of money through the NIL deals because what's her face for the gymnast Olivia Doon was recently on this swimsuit Sports Illustrated.
Is that the one that they were like having to shut down meets and stuff because she's like
she's huge,
an influencer and she was like having all these followers show up and they were having
gorgeous
to, like,
dude
shut down meets and
she
stuff.
has like millions of followers on Instagram.
That's the same chick then.
Yeah, she's
it's
really
crazy.
pretty. So I get why people follow her. I don't, however.
She won the genetic lottery.
Yeah, she did. But then I can't remember the girl's name right now. She was the star that did the I think she was the one that did the thing to
Angela, or god damn it.
Yeah, I feel bad I'm forgetting her name right now, but she was also on the Sports Illustrated issue, I think, and then she's been making a lot of money through NIL. And then you get the LSU Tigers that won the College World Series. So I mean, their whole program in school are like they're celebrities, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it would be Angel Reese.
Thank you, Angel Reese. Yeah.
And then there was Caitlin Thompson as well, was on the what was that team that she was playing on? That lost to LSU.
Oh, Iowa.
Yeah. She was like those two basically reinvigorated everybody into being into women's sports again. Out of nowhere.
And then we see right now Aaliyah Boston, who was one of the best teams on South Carolina. She got just recently selected to the WNBA All-Star team. Which, if people are watching, I said it last week, watch the Las Vegas Aces. It's like watching the 93 Bulls or 98 Bulls or anything like that because they're 13-1. They played a good Indiana Fever the other night and won by like 9 or something like that. But, I mean, it was kind of a close game going into it, but they've scored over 100, I think, like 9 times already this year, which is already a WNBA record.
That's crazy.
They are good.
Yeah, well, keep an eye on that. So, yeah, LSU, congrats to you guys winning all the championships and everything.
Congrats to that school, man.
So, LSU keeps on trucking, winning everything.
But that is it for headlines now.
Now
Chris,
that is all for headlines.
give me a rec center. Let's go to the rec center.
Okay, my rec center, I almost said my net center because it was on Netflix. I was watching Netflix this weekend. This is one thing I did do I did not mention. I found this, what was I doing? Something late. I was up late doing something.
Nothing.
And I was, flipping through Netflix. You get bored. You start just scanning. And then this thing popped up called Bad Sport. And I was like, ooh, what's this about? There's like a whistle on there. I'm like, it's obviously about sports. And bad sports. It's got to be good.
Yep.
It was actually pretty good. It's basically a whole bunch of controversies that have happened throughout history in sports. The first episode is a gambler and players involved in a 1994 Arizona State basketball point shaving scandal describe how and why they plotted to fix the games for a payoff. And they actually did it for a while, but then they got too greedy. I'll tell you about this one because this one's crazy. So they did it 4 or 5 times and made millions of dollars. And then something happened. One of them got in trouble with some guy, and the only way to get out of it was to let this guy in on it. And then it spread through the school because they were all students, and it spread through the school. And then they went to go place the bet because what they would do is they'd go 20 different casinos, because if you bet $9,999 or less, you don't have to pay taxes on it, so it's less. You don't have to. There's not as much paper trail. So they would go to 20 different casinos, 4 or 5 guys, and place all these bets on the Arizona State to basically win or lose by whatever the spread was. Worked 4 or 5 times. They get this guy involved, and then they go to place the bets, and they're like, oh, it's so weird that you guys are placing this bet right now because we've had like 30 or 40 kids show up today placing bets on the same thing in different amounts. And then the FBI got tipped off. Whoa. And then like the casinos were like, yo, like something's going on. They literally pushed the spread like 12 points. Because of all these people putting money on it.
That's unheard
And it was
of.
like the most insane push ever seen. And that's why the FBI got involved.
Interesting.
And so like it ends up coming out like, oh shit, this guy was the main dude who was on Arizona State who was in charge of all of it. I forget what his name is right now. It was Headache Johnson or something like that. Headache was his nickname. Is Hedake. He was like the main dude, and he brought in a couple guys on the team because he realized he wasn't going to be able to do it himself without a few guys. They all end up getting fucked. That dude was supposed to be like a first-round pick, and apparently the teams had gotten wind of something weird because he didn't even get drafted when the draft happened. And then after the draft, all this shit came out, and he was fucked.
Oh, shit.
So it's super crazy.
That sounds really fascinating,
super interesting,
man.
super
That's
fascinating,
wild.
and just like hearing these dudes, and it's like one of the dudes who set everything up. They're all out now. Like I think the most one of them got was like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the basketball players. But yeah, it's super crazy.
What years was
it?
This
Was
thing?
94.
See, that's what I was wondering about. When I was a kid, I was probably like 12 or 13. I watched this movie about becoming a bookie. It wasn't a documentary. I know the way I said that. But it was about this kid that went, I'm pretty sure, to Arizona State, and he just got involved in like small betting, and then he got a little bigger.
Dude,
Bookie.
this might be the thing because that's kind of how it started. He
Dude,
was like an investment
I have been trying
dude.
to find this movie for years.
You might be able to now because if it's based off of this, you'll be able to
I
find
need
it.
just to like research a little bit because it fascinated me. It got me kind of I didn't, obviously couldn't bet for years and years later, but it got me really intrigued by it because of course the guy became like really big, figured out he wasn't just into sports, but he got really interested, like, figured out spreads, home field advantages. Like, there's so many different idiosyncrasies when it comes to sports.
Thing, but either way, you might be able to
I don't
find
know,
it out.
but eventually he got in a lot of trouble and, ended up, I think, serving some time. But, yeah, I want to find out if this is the same thing because I've been searching
It might
for
be.
this
I would
movie for a
say,
long
yeah,
time.
it's Bad Sport. It's on Netflix. I watched 2 episodes. The second episode was super crazy. It's about Randy Lanier. Lanier, Lanier, a hippie and small-time pot dealer turns his passion for racing, basically into like a full-time thing, all off of smuggling weed into the United States.
Holy shit!
I think he ends up winning the Indy 500. It's insane.
Wow.
This guy literally like just starts racing and just funding. He like gets into like the Indy. He gets into Indy racing.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, where did these people come from? And like all the like people like thought it was weird because they're like everybody on the pit crew was wearing Rolexes, and like that was what the beginning of it was because these like mechanic dudes all had Rolexes, and this guy's bringing in like $49 million worth of weed on like fucking freight like tankers, like what are they called? The people that shipping containers, full of weed.
Jeez.
And like to the point where they were like sending out like decoys to go get caught. And like then sending the main shit around like a long distance way. And like right before he got caught, one of the biggest shipments they knew was coming in, and he got tipped off that they were waiting for him at the port. And they end up wasting 6 months and go all the way around the United States, in through the Panama Canal, up back around to the fucking East Coast. And, like, all these people are freaking out. I'm like, where's the fucking money? He's like, I have to do this in order to get it through. Otherwise, we're all fucked. And, like, It was super crazy, dude.
Dude, this sounds really interesting.
So, yeah, I'm 2 episodes in. I want to finish it. The next one's about the Cold War, so it's probably about, like, the Olympics and stuff.
Maybe hockey or something.
Yeah, it's probably about that.
That's cool.
Super interesting, and that's my rec center for the week. So,
nice, man.
If you haven't yet, Bad Sport on Netflix. Go check it out. Chadley, what's your rec center?
My rec center will be The Luckiest Man Alive. The new 30 for 30 on Luckiest Guy in the World, excuse me. Yep.
I was like, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. He told me what it was before we started going. I was like, oh, it's about Bill Walton. And then he said that, and I was like, I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
I was wondering why they named it that.
I didn't know what the name was, so that just threw me for a loop. So Luckiest Guy in the World?
Yep.
Okay.
It premiered the first episode on June 6th, and then episode 2 was June 13th, and then the next two. It's
4 hours,
it's
right?
a 4-part series.
So 4 hours on Bill.
That's
Walton.
why I was just like,
that's a lot.
It is, but when you watch it, you really understand why. I mean, he played under John Wooden at UCLA. I didn't realize that he played with Kareem for a couple of years. You know, there was a lot about his life I really wasn't aware of. I was intrigued by it because he's also a deadhead, probably the most famous celebrity deadhead. But, I mean, he was a hippie from the get-go. Went to Portland Blazers. Even when he was on UCLA, he was a big part of, like, UCLA's anti-war protest.
Yeah, huge in the protest.
Very just
civil
about
rights.
civil rights. I mean, huge activist. So I've been a fan of the guy, but why I wanted to recommend this is because of the similarities they talk about with LSD and playing basketball. I mean, it's
like the flow state of it.
The flow state, how a lot of it is improvisation, how you just got to be willing to go with the flow. You can't let your emotions get ahead of you. You can't let ego take over. And I mean, we see it. Even though Bill Walton had an injury-riddled career, later in his career, he had a lot of success, and he's touted as like being one of the best Blazers in history. He eventually went to the Celtics, but I mean, the way besides football, basketball is my favorite sport, and the way they define it and talk about the pureness of it, and just like I said, the flow state of it, just being able to go with the flow and being able to find out and have the almost ESP type of relationship with your teammates. I mean, they made it sound really psychedelic. I mean, the document, 30 for 30, the first episode I watched really is just like a kaleidoscope journey through his life. And I mean, the soundtrack, obviously, I love. They play Grateful Dead music the whole time, so that's cool.
I'm not a huge Grateful Dead fan.
It's an acquired taste.
On the thing of music, this is a little bit of a digression. Then I want to make another point about Bill Walton. But there's this band called Foxy Shazam. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I think you've brought them up before.
They're kind of like, the best way I could describe it is like a new age Queen. It's
you've definitely talked about
very that. Grandiose, not grandiose, very produced, like just these crazy songs. But the lead singer, who, when Andrew told me this, I was like, oh, I never expected that. But he's obsessed with basketball because he's like, it's like such like a ballet, like a dance, like when basketball, like watching the Nuggets, like watching, a lot of people talk about the WNBA the same way. It's like, it's pure basketball. Like watching pure basketball is like, this ultimate flow state, like it's like an amoeba that's just like works as one. So if you haven't checked out Foxy Shazam, check them out. Super cool band. But another little rec center right there. But the other thing I want to talk about was Bill Walton, and he was heralded back then as like the best passing big man in his heyday. And a lot of people were comparing Jokic to him just in terms of being a big guy that passes. Obviously, Jokic is, just far above him in terms of actual basketball skill nowadays. But he was one of those pioneering big men that kind of like changed the way people thought about it. Like, oh, he doesn't just like kind of hang out under the basket. Like he was like the purveyor of getting a defensive rebound and chucking the ball down the court the whole fucking way.
Yeah, seriously, dude. I'm so glad you brought that up because I would have forgotten, but they brought that up on episode 1 where he was one of the first ones to get the defensive rebound, and he wanted to find the outlet as fast as possible. And we see Jokic with all of these highlights of doing this now, making cross-court passes. Walton was one of the first ones to do it.
Yeah, honestly, you could say that whole Matt Ishbia thing was due to Jokic wanting to do that.
Yeah.
He wanted to get the ball and throw it down to the outlet right away, and that whole thing happened. But yeah, I want to check it out. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. Some people have said it's a lot. But
I mean,
if you're ingesting it in hourly segments,
if
you were to sit there and watch 4 hours of a Bill Walton documentary, like just back to back to back, that might be a little rough. But
if
I mean, the Eagles
joint, it might help a little.
The Eagles documentary, I don't know if I think it's called The Long Road.
Oh no, you recommended it almost after we first met. I think you were like, "Hey, I'm Chris. You need to watch this."
Go watch the Eagles documentary.
I think you've told me about it like 16 times, dude. And I watched it a long time ago. It's great.
It's one of the best music documentaries. But like, you start watching it and you're like, "Oh shit, there's like 3.5 hours left."
Yeah, it's
like,
a
holy
long
fuck,
time. Yeah.
we just started. But yeah, it kind of feels like that in a sense. But I do want want to check it out. The 30 for 30s have been great. I watched the 30 for 30 on the I think we talked about it on here, but on American Gladiators.
Yeah.
Super good.
They
one.
do such a good
30
job
for
with
30s
journalism,
are
man.
always fucking great.
I didn't realize it when I was reading this article about the Bill Walton thing. They have won Peabodys for their 30 for 30s and multiple Emmys.
Yeah.
Some of the best sports journalism out there.
It definitely is, and it's all on the big 4-letter network, which we all know and love as ESPN.
Hate and love.
Yeah,
Love,
we
hate
hate
relationship.
and love it always. But I think that's going to do it for the Rec Center.
I think it will.
So we're a shorter episode this week, but that's fine.
It's all good.
We went.
Everybody's,
I think we had our longest episode last week. Shout out to Knee Circles Podcast one more time for Travis coming on, as well as
great.
Adam Scheinman from Shine Time Golf, as well as Pro Golf Now. Both of those were super rad interviews.
good.
I had fun.
I listened to Knee Circle's most recent podcast, and they gave us a little shout out. Travis was like, "Yeah, I went on for Fringe Fanatics," and the dude was like, "Yeah, what'd you talk about?" He's like, "Sports." And then the dude gave me shit about it. And Mitski was like, "That's awesome, man." And it was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't yet, go check out Knee Circles Podcast. Also, go follow Adam Scheinman at Shine Time Golf on Instagram.
You know what? He told me today, check
dude.
that, because when I made that reel of him,
did you tag the wrong thing?
reel of his segment, I did tag the wrong one.
Shit. Because there's his personal and then there's Shine Time.
He uses his personal one.
I tagged. Then I need to change it. Then I tagged as
Shine Time 108. That is the new account that he's using.
Shit.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
he's
I'll go change that.
the
then.
best when it comes to. I edited the reel already, but I mean, this guy is a golf expert. I mean, it's awesome. If you don't want to
Super
have to tune
knowledgeable.
into boring golf channel or anything like that, check out Shine Time 108 on Instagram.
Yeah, you even go through. Well, on his other profile, which I don't know if he's using anymore, but he had a whole bunch of really good content on there, just like these little 2-3 minute clips about golfers and super informative. So yeah, go check both those guys out. Well, Knee Circles, both those guys, and Adam by himself. Go check those people out. Give them a like and follow, because that's how we create this community and keep the love fucking going. We spread it like wildfire here.
That's right.
So on that note, which I think is the first time I've said that this episode, I'm doing the damn thing. I'm learning. We are going to move into the daily dose of excellence. So you are about to hear John Daly hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, live it large. I hit it hard.
And we are back. You just heard John Daly hit it hard, man. And we talked about John Daly a little bit earlier this episode with the whole Kenny Chesney thing.
We did.
Yeah.
Did you know that he was really good friends with Ryan Mallett too?
Oh, bummer. Oh,
Because
you
Mallett
know
was
why? Arkansas,
Yep.
right there. The
Yeah.
Arkansas boys.
Daly posted about it. He had multiple pictures. He was good friends with them.
Another Arkansas guy, Scott Hastings, Nuggets analyst and former Nuggets player, also played with the Hawks
didn't know
and won a championship with the Pistons
Oh,
back
cool.
in the Bad Boy days.
Wow.
Scott Hastings.
Nice.
You can hear him on 92.5.
The fan.
Well, no, that's Altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it
Not
wrong.
the fan. You ruined it.
I did.
Now they're
I
never
fucked
going to
that
shout
up.
us out. Damn it. Let's get into the daily dose of excellence. It's a little bit of a different one. We kind of alluded to it earlier with it being about the hurdles, because this week the daily dose of excellence is going to go to what is her name? Oh,
Jolien. I believe it's Jolien Boumkwo. I'm sorry if I fucked that up, but go ahead, Chris, if you want.
Okay. I need to see it to try and give you my best. So she's a Belgian shot putter. What was happening was they were competing in an event, and two of their two of her teammates who were supposed to compete in the 110 meter hurdles ended up getting hurt, and she had to basically go run the 110 meter hurdles being a shot putter, which I don't know if you know this about shot putters. They're normally bigger folk like myself, a little bit thicker. They're not exactly the most agile. Some
She
of
looks
us are.
very
Some of
sturdy.
us are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I watched the video at first, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be watching, because I'm just like watching these people run the hurdles, and like they all finish, and then the camera pans back, and you just see her like running, and then just like stepping over the hurdles, and then jogging, and then stepping over the next hurdle. And you feel bad for her, but at the same time, it's like she got them 2 points, saved them from being disqualified, and they were able to, you know, finish competing. And I don't think they won everything, obviously, but they might have.
Stepped in I don't know if they ended up winning, but I know that they came really close to winning. But either way, it shows the whole team-oriented kind of nature of track and field, where you get points by each event and how well somebody does. So that's why she stepped over those hurdles, because if she had knocked some down,
you get
they could get
penalty.
Deducted. Yeah. And just for like stepping in like that, she said, I didn't even think about it. I just went for it. And, you know, she even praised the crowd for the reaction. It was really heartwarming for all the support. The crowd was screaming, and I cannot believe how many people are so kind. So it's just amazing to see her step in and do that.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta just do something you don't want to do.
Step out of your comfort zone.
Never meant to do in order to help out your team. Yeah, it does seem like had she not competed in the race, like I said, they would have been disqualified. Instead, she ended up earning Belgium 2 points in the first division standing. So it helped the team out entirely, because they got 2 points in the first division standings.
Yep.
And now she's basically a hero in Belgium, because she went above and beyond when she shouldn't have really probably been out there.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you look at her, it looks like she could just chuck a shot put like a football field.
She probably can.
Dude, I don't know if you ever tried to do the hurdles.
I did back in the day. I was able to do them, but not very fast.
Oh, it's hard, man. They're a lot higher than you think.
It's a whole thing. It's not like just jumping. There's like a whole like movement to your hips to get up and over it and stuff. So yeah, I give her credit. Like you said, if you watch the video, we'll post it. The first time you watch it, you're like, what am I watching? It's just people running the hurdles. And then it just pans back, and you're like, I now see what I'm watching. I believe that's someone overcoming.
Overcoming is right. Definitely deserving of the daily dose of excellence.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and I'm going to give her name a try, because I got it pulled up here.
Okay.
Jolien Boumkwo.
Yeah, it's so tough, man.
Boumkwo.
I believe from the article I read, she finished 19 seconds behind the next runner. So, I mean, it's like everybody finished, and then even the other runners were like,
they were cheering her on and shit. Yeah, so that's a great thing to see, you know, and yeah.
I know if I tried jumping over the hurdles, I would probably just hit myself in the nuts every single time. Just
high center yourself.
Again. And again. Oh, man.
On that, we are going to do this daily dose of excellence to Jolien Boumkwo, and I'm sorry if we fucked up your name. Please reach out to us if we did. That's going to do immense things.
She could probably throw us.
Yeah, she
like
messes both up for sure. No doubt about
all
it.
Respects to you. Please don't hurt
Jolien,
us.
We appreciate what you did. You are the daily dose of excellence this week. You did John Daly proud. Cheers, my friend.
Chris.
Here's to episode 40, man. Yeah, we did the damn thing.
Dude.
Moving along.
40 weeks into this.
Cheers to you guys. We appreciate you all.
Thanks for joining us. Love you guys.
Yes, thanks for tuning in each and every week. Please like and follow us on whatever you're listening or watching us on. Also, subscribe to us and rate us 5 stars. If you haven't yet, please follow us on all things social media at @fridge_fanatics. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. Chad Lee,
Let's end it
on
an exhilarating note.
I love you, buddy. I'm going to sniff this stuff, and we're going to get out of here. Here we go.
I love you, buddy. Go for it.
Love you too, man.
He just saw Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, tune in next week, guys. Episode 41.